Hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome back. And this is
Bestie
with my bestie.
Get out of here.
We kicked Andy out the podcast room.
He's like, okay. He's just by the door like.
Are they talking about me? No, I don't know what they're saying.
I know, seriously. No. So it's all going to be like him watching it like for the first time.
Editing and watching it for the first time. Mm-hmm. That's right, yeah. Hi, Andy.
Hello, Antwoord.
Hello. All right, well, do you want to start it off?
Sure. Okay, so I guess this episode... Oh, wait. The realization. So I'm Marley.
I'm Vanessa.
This is Bestie with my bestie. And today we're going to talk about red flags in friendships, relationships.
And just people in general. Yeah. Probably, most likely.
Honestly, yeah.
Red flag didn't really become a thing until last year before that? The term red flag.
The term of it, yeah. I mean, it's always been there. There's always been shady things that people do. But,
yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think to officially call it a term, I want to say it first started off with Twitter, no? Are you on Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Twitter. I feel like everything starts on Twitter and then it goes to other apps. Twitter's
I think so.
Savage.
Yeah, exactly. I think everything starts with Twitter because people just literally, I feel like they say whatever they want still on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for friendships, what would you say are red flags you don't want to even tolerate or you look out for that specifically?
Well, I feel like they're the most common ones. If this friend is super bitter towards anything that happens towards you, if they're jealous, if they say things to intentionally make you look or sound bad in front of other people, if they use you, if they the list can literally go on.
Yeah. Do you have an example of a time something's happened to you?
Oh my God, why would you ask this? Sorry. Well, I actually do. Yeah,
I don't mean to bring it up, but
Well, it's kind of like what I talked about in the past with French. Didn't we have an episode where we talked about friendship breakups or something?
Yeah, we spoke about breaking up with our best friends. We each chose
her. Same girl. Mm-hmm. I would say same thing. I just felt like she was very... I'm not going to say jealous. She wasn't jealous. And I don't want to make it sound like, I was better than her because I'm not better than anybody. Mm-hmm. But I just felt like the difference between me and her was I was very supportive of her and her choices. Whether I agreed with them or not, mm-hmm. I'm still going to be a supportive friend.
Right.
And show you that, hey, I have your back. I'm always here for you. I feel like she didn't give me that. She was quick to judge, quick to make me feel stupid or put me down. And then because of that, she would ghost me. And she just didn't... I also felt like talking to her sometimes was... her mindset was more immature than mine.
Right.
If I wanted, some real, intelligent, authentic advice, I feel like she would be quick to just say something without fully thinking about it. Mm-hmm. And then I'd be like, well, I'm not going to take that advice. That's stupid.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I feel like red flags are just someone who's not really supportive. I understand there's people, there's friends who are very no filter, will tell you how it is. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like that. It was very backhanded, very judgmental, very you're stupid for doing this. But then she would go and do her stupid mistakes and I wouldn't be judging her for it.
Right.
So now I feel like when it comes to friendships, I know where my crowd is.
Right.
Because of her.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like support. What?
I know you're watching.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say support is a big deal for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be for everybody. I mean, that's just kind of a common thing you should have in a friendship.
Yes.
So, yeah, I agree with you, though, everything that you said. I feel for sure the biggest red flag is when a friend tries to put you down constantly. Mm-hmm. So I've had that and it was kind of a short-term friendship too, and that's why, just because of how she was. You know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know who you are.
Mm-hmm. And so it's just like constant. It can be about, to the point where first time seeing you, we have plans to hang out. And then as soon as I see you, I'm like, oh my gosh, Vanessa, your hair, like, did you do your hair today? Or like, things like that. And it's like, what is like the point? Like, like, do you not hear yourself sometimes? I never do that to someone, or like, if obviously we have our makeup free days. So like first thing, imagine if I was just like, oh, you look tired, or did you shower, or, just like things like that. And it's like, I could not tell anyone that, it's just, I don't know. I think like that's one of the biggest things for sure. Just constant like nitpicking at you to where it's like you want it. It's like they're trying to make sure you never feel confident in yourself or something. You know what I mean? I don't know what the purpose is really behind that, but yeah. So I want to say that's like for sure now something I look for. Like, are you that type of friend who's going to hype me up or try to like constantly bring me down? So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, I think that can kind of go into like complaining. I hate when people complain.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I'm around a group of friends or just a friend in general who is constantly complaining about something, I'm not going to want to hang out with that person anymore. It's like I can't really be in the moment, enjoy what it is that we're doing or about to do when all you're doing is complaining about like the smallest to biggest things, Like if it just, complaining is my biggest red flag, I think, for anybody though.
Yeah. For sure. It's like draining, like you can be enjoying something or trying to make the best out of a situation. And then you just hear constant negativity and it's like, you know.
That's true. Or how do you feel if like you're friends with somebody, but they're constantly having like boy problems?
See,
like whenever you go out, she ends up going off on the phone with like her toxic boyfriend, or she comes back and she's just been crying, or in the middle of an event, she ends up crying, or she ends up just like talking about him, like over, like, how do you handle that situation?
So I've had this before with actually, let me see, a friend who actually the friend I spoke about in the 4th episode for the best friend breakups. So for both of her boyfriends, actually, she had a boyfriend in high school and he was just like total all around red flag. And he would treat her like terribly, really. And let me see. For that, I want to say she would constantly like complain, especially towards the end when they were breaking up. He was like seeing someone and like, so, but he wasn't, I don't think, official with that person. I can't remember, but it was like constant things like that. And I wanted to be as supportive. It's just hard in certain situations. Like the guy that she's with right now, I kind of had to take a step back because I only want to say so much, or I only want to give advice when it's asked for. I don't like to just kind of speak on someone else's relationship.
Yeah.
So that was really hard for me because she was my best friend since like freshman year of high school. So just seeing someone treat her that way, I did have to take a step back and kind of separate myself from her because all I could do was defend her in the moment. Like, I remember one thing was we went to go get snacks. Me and her were constantly eating 24/7. Like, we're always snacking. And so I remember I went to go meet up with him and her, and we were just going to hang out. I brought some like snacks, donuts for her and stuff, like whatever she liked. And then I remember she took a bite and he told her, like, don't eat that. Like, why are you eating that? Basically talking about her weight. And he was just like, you can't eat that. Marlena can eat that. That's fine. But you can't eat that. Oh, and I was like, she can eat whatever she wants. Like, I would say things like in the moment like that. But even after that, I wouldn't bring it up to her like, hey, like that wasn't cool of him to say or anything unless she brought it up. And I feel like a lot of times she would just kind of laugh it off. I don't know if because she was embarrassed that he would say things in front of people. Or I remember one time too, there was a party and she was on her phone. And I remember he just snatched her phone out of her hand and he threw it across the house into like another room. And obviously like that's so embarrassing. Like there was like the whole house was like full of people and we were like playing a game and everything. And I got up and I went to go get it for her because I don't know, that's embarrassing. And then I like told him something. I don't know like what I said exactly, but I was just like, why are you like being like that? Like, don't be like that with her. Like he was just constantly telling her things like in front of me. And so I would just defend her whenever something would happen because I feel like she just, like I said, laughed everything off. So I get really like defensive over my friends if like something happens, you know? So yeah. But bottom line, it just happened so much or there was just it seemed like there was always something going on, especially like in the beginning of their relationship. So I had to take a step back and I kind of like just distanced myself from her.
Is she still with him?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think we can all see the kind of relationship they have. And that sucks.
Yeah.
But then I also understand that, like, you feel that you can't put your input in the relationship because obviously it's not your relationship to even say. Mm-hmm. But I think at some point, do you check in on her?
Do I?
Yeah.
Now? Oh, no, because I...
oh, you're not friends with her?
I'm not friends with her at all anymore. Like, I don't talk to her. Not that I wouldn't be ever again. I mean, I definitely don't plan on, like, talking to her, like, making a first move on that, which usually I do. I'm definitely that person to, like, be the better person. Yeah. You know, just, like, whatever. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, ugh, I hate that about myself. Even if I'm, like, not in the wrong, I'll still do that. And, yes. Such a... But
red flag. Just kidding.
Yeah, no, red flag. I know for myself, like, so yeah, I would check on her and I would still like, you know, we'd meet up and everything. But I don't think anymore he's like that to the same point.
Good. Okay.
How he was.
Yeah. But
I remember like they would, you know, share certain moments or, I don't know if I should really say or not, but
do you think she watches this?
I don't know. Do you watch it? Can you leave a comment down below?
Leave a comment if this is about
just, like,
you.
Let me know, like if you know. But I mean, definitely not going to say names, obviously. But like, I feel like they did have like a toxic relationship.
That's
like they could be. Basically, like I know it would get to a point of them arguing where like she would hit him. So that's why I was like so hesitant on saying that. But again, I'm not saying names. So, but still, like, I feel like, I don't know, if you need to like get to that point, if you feel that, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like hitting in relationships in general is just at that point, you need to both let go of each other. Yeah. You know, it's same with girls. Like if obviously everyone's quick to say like, oh my God, like he beat her, you know, like leave him. But it's also like same thing for women. Women hit men and it's the same thing. Like you need to just leave her. Yeah. Like, I mean, I've never personally seen somebody in a toxic relationship around me. So I don't know how I would react to it. But I feel like if I was in your position where I'm around somebody who's constantly having her partner do something or say something to out her, I think I would probably get to the point where I would call him out and be like, leave her the fuck alone. And then I would tell her like, you need to fucking do something because this is ridiculous. And this is how it makes me feel and it's making me feel uncomfortable. And honestly, I don't want to be around you or him. Yeah. So I think at that point it would be like, I think an eye-opener for her in a sense.
See, and I think she knew because there were like so many things going on where she would ignore it. So for example, another thing was I know like at some point he was labeled as a fuckboy and Yuma's really small. obviously.
Yeah.
So where I'm from, it's really small. And so everybody hears everything. If you hook up with someone, like someone knows. And so there was a while where there were rumors coming from multiple people that he would like cheat on her, or like, I guess not so much cheat, but there were rumors that like they'd break up so that he can go with someone, you know what I mean? And even then, and I know that there are like a few people who had told me about that, like, hey, you know, just telling you, it's, you could like warn your friend or whatever. And she knew about those rumors, but she decided to ignore them, which that's up to her. I didn't speak on it like in that way to like, you know, I feel like confrontation is really hard for me.
Oh yeah, same.
It's very hard for me. I'll only do it if I feel like it'll make a positive outcome. Like if a positive outcome will come from it, then I'll do it. But if I know it's a touchy subject like that is, I won't bring it up, because especially if she already knew about it, which she did. So I didn't feel a need to kind of like bring it up, because she's like a very fiery girl anyway. So it's like, I don't want to fight. Like, I really don't like fighting. I don't like arguing with anyone. So I was like kind of to just avoid that. And I guess kind of if she wants to talk about it, she will, you know? If she wants to bring it up, she'll bring it up to me. We'll talk about it. But she never did. So it seemed like she was just okay with it. She would definitely like ignore and be like, oh my gosh, people are, you know, kind of just dismiss everything people would say, like rumors. So it's kind of like at that point, that's kind of hard.
Yeah.
When you're not seeing the negative for some reason. I get it. Like you go through like a phase, I feel like.
I think she does see it and she knows that she's in it. But I think when she's out in public, she acts like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Like, he's just being stupid. But what she doesn't realize is like everybody else can read the room and can obviously see that this girl is in too deep. And she's trying to like mask it. But it's like, dude, like we can see it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That sucks for her. It sucks for you.
Well,
that sucks for you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know.
No. I will say there was one time, I guess relationship. We went bowling with our friends and they had invited another couple. And the guy was like super cool. He was like amazing at bowling. He was killing it. His girl.
His bowling skills.
Yeah, his bowling skills really came out. And I was like, wow, this guy. And I think he actually did like a few professional, I don't know. Like he took it serious. Like he brought like his legit own bowling ball to the thing. So we're like,
that's
okay,
when you know.
Exactly. But he was like so cool and he was like really good at it. So we're like, oh my God, it's so cool and chill. His girlfriend, on the other hand,
uses bumpers.
Freaking weird.
Oh.
Yeah. No, uses bumpers. That's the red flag.
Don't judge the bumpers.
I use bumpers. Yeah. I use bumpers. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm like, oh.
But her personality, I think, I'm not going to say is a red flag. Like, I just know as a person, me and her would not get along.
Right.
But it was noticeable that one night because of how she acted. So she's with this guy who's like amazing. He's talking to like Eric and our other friend, and they're all getting along. We're like laughing at each other, laughing with each other.
Cool.
And then there's her. She was throwing like the biggest tantrum because she wasn't doing good. And it's like, mind you, we're all out bowling, we're drinking, we're having fun. And then just picture this one girl who's literally pouting like a baby. Like picture a baby pouting. And we were like, how old is this girl? Like she's like 20 something. And she's literally doing like pouty noises, pouty faces. When Eric was ever getting strikes, she would like be bitter towards him for some reason.
No.
And then she would get upset if like I was doing better than her. And then it got to the point where she just like shut down. And then we're all like laughing. And whenever she would get up to bowl, we'd all be like we wouldn't talk to her. We wouldn't look at her. If we obviously saw that she missed, we'd be like, don't look at her, don't look at her. Because she would like stomp her foot, do like this little baby walk. And then her man would look at her like, you could tell like he's used to that behavior.
Wow.
Like, I don't know the relationship behind closed doors. But from what our friends were telling us was like, that's her personality. Like she pouts like a baby to like get that attention from him. But it was like in that moment, I was like, that's a red flag for me as a friend. Like I didn't talk to her for the rest of the night. I was very much to myself. I was like, this girl is weird and I cannot, like she ruined the mood for us, but we still kept it live, like going. But like it was just like we didn't want to be around her. Her boyfriend was so cool.
Yeah.
So we were like, why are you with this girl?
Yeah, like,
you know, and it was so shitty to say that because once they left, we were like, what the fuck is up with that?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was so weird. Like she acted like a legit baby.
Besides that, the whole tantrum thing, how is her personality?
I mean, I don't want to like say like she was just very out there, outgoing. I think she was. I don't drink as much.
Right.
I hardly do drink when I'm out.
Right.
But she was just like, you know, in this like, she's kind of like a firecracker, I think. She talked about raves. Like she loved her. They both loved going to raves.
Okay.
So like she's a rave girl and she was talking about it and she was talking about like drunk stories and all that. But to me, it's like, I can't, I don't want to say like be friends with people like that.
Relate.
But I can't relate to that. Mm-hmm. So it was just already from the start. I was like, okay, so I think I know my place with this girl. I'm still going to be nice and sweet.
Right.
But after I saw that like she was throwing tantrums, I was like, okay, I cannot talk to this girl.
It's just a mental note you take when you meet someone.
Yeah. So it's like you get the vibe of people. Her boyfriend, super chill, super cool. We would all love to hang out with him again, but without her. Yeah. And that's the thing that I think the guys were kind of talking to him about, or like our friends were telling us, like, yeah, like whenever we try to have like guy time or like boys night, he will eventually always bring her. And the guys are like, what are you doing? But she's always like, invite me, take me. But it's like, we purposely don't want her to tag along with you because this is what happens. Yeah. So I was like, that's the only time where I was around somebody where I was like, okay, this girl in general is a huge, just like, red flag. Like I cannot even try to be friends with her. Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I've never really witnessed that, like an adult acting like a baby in that kind of a way.
It was so weird.
Like literally like a sore loser.
Yes, sore loser, but baby. I was like, bro, even my kids don't act like this.
Yeah, I feel like just play it off and like laugh at yourself or something if you're not doing well, or make a joke like, oh, fuck, I suck, or you know what I mean? Like weird. I feel like that just makes it awkward for everyone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but other than that, like, green flags. What are some green flags? I mean, supportive and
you.
But here's the thank you. You're like, oh my gosh, I gotta stop it. I think I don't want to say like I obviously don't like drama, but it's so fun to like listen to drama. Like, of course, who doesn't like to listen to? We're all into like entertainment drama.
You like to listen to, but you don't like to be a part of it.
Yeah. Like, so even that night when that girl was having her tantrum, and like I was just listening to the other couples, they were just like going off and saying like their own experiences with her, and I was just like, that's interesting. But it's like, holy fucking shit! Like, I don't know how they do it. Yeah. I just felt so bad for him. You know, it was one of those moments where like I would even talk to Eric, like he is such a good guy. What the fuck is he doing with her?
What is going on here?
But apparently his friends have told him the same thing. Like, what are you doing? You know, like, why are you with her?
Would you be able to do that?
Confront somebody?
Like, I think tell your friends, like, why are you with this
If I was in a good, comfortable relationship with them where it was like, I can be open about stuff like that, I think I would do it in a sense of like perfect moment, perfect time. Like, hey, like so how are you? And so. What's going on? Yeah. You know, like what is like, did you not notice that, you know? Yeah. But the thing though was like that guy is aware of it. Like he acknowledged it. Like, I know, like, I'm sorry guys. Like I know how she is, but also
I'd like to know like, what is it that draws him to her?
I don't know.
I mean, they have the raving in common, which is like, I feel like that's a big deal. If you're like a raver to the core. Like I feel like that is so cool if you find someone who is also really into it, because I don't know, I feel like especially like with the music, just listening to EDM, because my friend is super into raves and she could just listen to EDM. Yeah. Like we were on our way to Vegas one time and she was playing EDM. And me personally, I'm like, I can't listen to it for like so
too long.
Yeah. Like I'll listen to it and like, okay, yeah, it's cool, but I can't for too long. So I feel like if you do meet someone who has that same interest, it's kind of a cool thing because they're always going to want to go. You always have someone to go with to like raves and, you know. So I'm like, is that like what's You know, putting them together.
Yeah, I hope he's doing good.
Yeah.
But it was such a shitty thing to see.
Yeah.
But that's the only experience I've had like in person where I've like witnessed it like in person, just seeing a girl complain and just be like super just freaking red flag all over her.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. But as far as friends, I mean, I've learned my lesson since like my past ex-best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, like the friends that I have made since her have all been like really good.
Yeah.
So like
that's good.
That's the good thing. But it's
Yeah.
like fuck.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy. Like that term red flag is now a term used to describe people.
Yeah.
Like Karens. Karens now are a term to describe crazy women.
Yeah.
Who, you know,
cause scenes and are like, yeah, for any little thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically throwing tantrums too, but like anger tantrums and just being
I've never
so
seen a Karen either in person.
In person, no. I can't think of something off the top of my head.
Oh wait, no, I have. Well, is she considered? I guess she's considered a Karen. So the first day me and Eric ever met each other, we went to Knott's Berry Farm for like our first little hangout.
Oh yeah.
And we pull in and we parked the car. And
Right.
I think there was like a van next to us. I could be botching this story. My memory's shitty.
Yeah.
But Eric like got out the car, closed his door. And I think this girl complained like, oh, you hit my car. And I think for him, he was like, oh, huh, like that's so funny, like a joke. But she's like, no, you just hit my car.
Oh, like, no, dead ass.
Yeah, like dead ass, like you just hit my car. And Eric's like, wait, what? What are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, right there. Like you just scratched my car. And he's like, no, lady. Like you're seeing things. My door doesn't even reach that far.
Yeah.
And like I didn't hit your car. And I think she was just like kind of causing a scene like, yes, you did.
Right.
I'm going to take a photo. And Eric's like, go for it. Mind you, this is our first time like seeing each other, hanging out. And so I was just as confused, but I was like, we never hit your car, dude. Like, I don't know what she's talking about. But she was causing a scene. She kind of had a van. We're in a Range Rover. So we don't know if she was trying to like, I don't know.
No, people do that.
Yeah, they make some shit up, Karens.
Yeah.
And so seriously. I think for us, that was like the first Karen we've ever
encountered together.
Where she's like falsely accusing Eric of hitting her car with his door when it never happened.
And then I think he said that he even opened his door all the way just to prove to her, like, see, it doesn't even reach. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he was like, I'm going to take a photo of my, like, he started taking photos of like his car just to make sure, like, once we walked away, she didn't do anything.
Right.
And then he took a picture of like her license plate, everything. But like, yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like, we just got here. You're leaving.
Yeah.
You know we didn't do it. So why are you making it up? Right. Anyways, I thought that's like the only Karen thing I've encountered. Mm-hmm. But I see all these stories on like TikTok and it's so freaking crazy.
It's wild how people get. Like
do you think
almost,
No, go on.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Do you think that you would be able to speak up if you see a Karen out in public?
I think it depends on the situation. I feel like I would more so if I see that someone isn't like able to defend themselves.
Yeah.
Like if they feel kind of like, I don't know, if they seem more shy or like, oh my gosh, then I would like, hey, like, you know, relax. Like, why don't talk to them like that? Or I would be able to do that, I feel.
Yeah. That's the thing that bothers me because in a lot of these like Karen TikTok videos, everyone is so quick to bring their phones out and just record. But it's like if you guys all came together and literally were shouting at this Karen to get out, like you shut her up. But instead, everyone's watching and not saying anything. And that's what pisses me off.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? And then they're so quick to like post this on social media and be like, oh, you know, like the fucking Karen encounter and this is what she said. And they're like so quick to like, I don't know, say stuff online, but it's like, why aren't you saying things in person?
Yeah.
You know, that's what pisses me off.
Yeah. So
I think if I were to ever encounter a Karen in person and obviously like see what is happening, like, you know, try to gather as much information as possible, but I think I'd be like, let's all do something to get this fucking crazy bitch out and shut her up, you know?
Yeah. And what you just said too, I feel like that's a big factor. Also, like kind of, I have to know the situation. I need to know like what happened, like for it to get to this point. Like if I show up like midway through, I probably won't say anything because I'm like, well, I wasn't here to witness the beginning, so I shouldn't really speak on it. But if I'm there from the beginning and I notice someone is just being totally crazy for no reason on someone who didn't do anything, then that's when I would speak up.
Yeah. Well, that went somewhere else.
Yeah, I know.
We were
It's
like
just
red flag
like
your friendships, Karens,
red flags in life, Karens. Seriously, yeah.
Red flags.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Final red flag? I know.
Anything else?
Anything else?
You have a friend that's flirtatious with, like, how do I say this? You have a friend, like you're with someone, obviously. You have a friend, and she could come off flirtatious. Like, she flirts with a lot of guys. Do you feel comfortable with her around your partner?
I probably would be okay with her being around, but I definitely wouldn't want them to be alone.
I think that's what we talked about the last time. Like, we were here. We have probably, there's cheese. There's tea. There's tea, but would you feel comfortable with your partner being around someone you know is a cheater or like easily flirts with people?
Yeah, I would say no, not alone. And I think I would keep an eye. I feel like I would give them a chance to be around. But if I notice anything, then I'll be like, nope, that's it. I'll give you a chance. Knowing how you are and everything, I would hope that you'd still control yourself to like be able to respect my relationship. But if I see you can't do that, you gotta go.
Yeah. I think for me, as long as my partner is aware, like, hey, listen, this person is known for doing this. It's not so much that I don't trust my man, because I would hope that he would know, like, okay, this girl is a red flag. Don't be alone with her. Don't give her any sense of like comfortability. Like, don't think that she can be comfortable with him too much. But I think even then, like, I would still probably have my eye out on her.
Naturally,
like,
of course.
Even if we're like in a big group of like people, and I think I would just keep my eye out for her. But then I think at that point I'd be like, why are we friends with her?
Exactly.
Kind of thing. Like if we all have to be on our tippy toes or hope that she doesn't get sloppy, then like that's a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
I agree. I don't think I could do it. That's why I'm like, I'll give you a chance. I'm gonna see how you are, observe you, definitely. But if I feel like you can't be respectful, goodbye.
Yeah,
and it.
Yeah, well, we talked about a few things.
I know. I know. Yeah. I mean, there's still all red flags, though.
There's a shit ton of red flags.
There's a lot of red flags.
And family members. Family members are a huge thing. And I think until you are an adult and you take a look back at like your childhood and like how it's affected you, then you start to see like, holy fucking shit, I am a walking red flag from like my parents or how they were raised or how we were generational, like.
Generationally like brought up and for sure.
Like it's so funny to point out like your parents' red flags. Like for me, like now me and my sisters were like this is what my mom does or this is what my dad does, and we're like, why do they do this? But then it's also like then we took that from them, and it wasn't until I was with Eric where I was like, holy crap, like I got this, and it's not a good trait that I got.
Right.
So like now there's that kind of stuff.
Or there's even kind of like, I feel like it can go either or, where you witness it and you're around it so much so it kind of becomes you or you become that. And then there's also situations where you're like, you know what, I'm going to learn from this.
Yeah.
But that's kind of hard as a child to like tell yourself like, no, this is something you should learn from. For example, it's funny though. My entire family loves to drink. Everybody. My mom, like everybody. And so it's funny because I went on like a little family vacay with my mom's side, like her cousins and all that, who she'd party with like back in the day. And I remember everybody was taking shots and they poured me one. I'm like, oh no, it's okay. And they're like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm like, oh no, I'm good. Like, I'm not going to be able to take it. Like, I just don't. And she's like, wait, are you not Martha's daughter?
Like, oh gosh, she said that? Oh my God. So
yeah, it was so funny. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm fucking lame. I know.
You're like, I'm that girl.
I know. It's because my mom's like cool, like fun, like party, like, you know,
She's
and I
that girl.
just, yeah. And they have their memories like growing up and all. So I will say like I didn't pick up that trait.
Mm-hmm.
I will drink like occasionally.
Yeah.
And when I do, it's like rare where I'll like really drink, you know?
Do you think what are some of your red flags?
Of my own?
Yeah.
I am passive aggressive.
Okay.
I can be. Yeah. Like, but in a way like
I'm just aggressive.
Hey, minus the passive.
Minus the passive.
Yeah. No, like, but I'll do that if I feel I'm not being understood. Like if I feel like, well, there's no point in even bringing this up to discuss it, to let them know it bothers me. So I feel like I'm just going to be passive aggressive. Like I'll do that, but it's very obvious, like very obvious. Like I can't even give like a specific kind of situation, but I can be passive aggressive. I know that. I admit to it 100%. That is my red flag.
Just one red flag?
That's my main one.
That's your main one?
That's my main one. Yeah. Because I don't get angry often, ever. Like, it takes a lot for me to get mad. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot. Like, I could get butthurt. I could get upset.
Yeah.
You know, sad. But anger, like, is really, really rare. I think I've shown anger towards one person before. Mm-hmm. Like anger.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So you're passive aggressive.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess I can be the same way, but I think my outlet is to be, I'll crack jokes at someone without knowing that it's coming from like, I'm really annoyed of you right now, so I'm kind of making jabs at you as a joke.
That's kind of like passive aggressive.
So like that,
like you're throwing shade at them, like yes, for them to understand, but still like.
But I need to sometimes I'll do it to like my sisters. Like sometimes if I'm annoyed with some of them, yeah, I catch myself like picking on them too much, and I'm like, it's because I'm in this mood, and it's probably because they did something. So I'm like, okay, I need to stop. I'll do that sometimes to like, you know, like mainly family.
Yeah.
But I think I've caught myself doing it to like maybe a few people. I don't want to say like I have, but it's mainly family where I know I could be like passive aggressive, but like joking, making jokes at them.
Yeah.
To the point where they're like, why are you being mean to me? And I'm like, fuck, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, like, my bad. Let's take it back.
I would say another red flag. My red flags are
here.
I interrupt a lot. Which if you've noticed for this entire episode, I'm like trying not to interrupt you. But it's something that Eric complains about me all the time, which is his red flag. He complains.
So like his red flag is I'm not the only one with red flags.
See what you're doing? You're
funny.
About me. Yeah.
Interrupting.
Yeah.
That's funny. See, and I feel like I don't interrupt people. I feel like even when people interrupt me, I'll still let them finish. And I'm like,
but the thing with girls though, you know? I think girls don't care.
Yeah.
Because like what Eric will point out is like girls interrupt so much, but I'm like, but you also have to understand that we're okay with it. Like if I'm in a conversation with you and you're interrupting me, I'm not going to be like, excuse me, you just interrupted me. I'm going to be like, no, we're going to riff off each other. And then we'll probably be like, oh, anyways, back to like what I was saying.
Back to it. Yeah, that's how we like keep going on and on about conversations.
Yeah. We could be telling a story and then we get sidetracked and then we're telling 3 other stories. Like this freaking episode. And then we go back to the first story.
Seriously, it's been like scattered. No, yeah, for sure.
But I have to tell them that like, hey, listen, just because somebody interrupts you doesn't mean that the conversation is ended. You don't have to be annoyed so quick. Like, yeah, I'm listening to you. I'm just, you know, trying to be an active listener. So I'm like, but his thing is like, I'll try to finish his sentences and they'll be like completely off from what he was saying.
And he's like, no, that's not what I was going to say.
Yeah, but he'll always stop and call it out. Like, that's not what I was going to say. I'm like, you don't have to say that. Like, just finish. Like,
that's so funny.
So for him, I think
passive aggressive.
I'm like, listen. For him, I know a thing that I have a problem with is I interrupt But it's also like when you're around conversations, like so many conversations could be happening and you're like, you know, active listening is what I like to call it. I'm an active listener.
Yeah, let's turn it into a positive thing.
Yeah, like me, I'm listening to what you're saying. Yeah. I have a response for everything you say.
Yeah, seriously.
So even when we're arguing, like his tactic is like if I'm going through like, this is bothering me and this is bothering me and I hate when you do this and this is like, you know, like in his head, he's like, okay, so she talked up on this. So when it's my turn to talk, I'm going to go over this, 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 and this. So that's how he handles arguments. Yeah. When I handle arguments, if he says something, I'm like, no. Like I'm already cutting him off mid-argument before he even finishes. Yeah. So I have to tell myself like, let him finish. But then by the end of it, I'm like, I don't remember half the shit he said.
See, okay. And that's something I kind of agree with. So the only time I will interrupt someone for interrupting me, if that makes sense, the only time I don't like interrupting is if we're having like a serious like discussion. Yeah. Like on, you know, like a little fight or something. That's when I don't like interrupting because it's like I feel like you have to listen to the person to truly listen to them to understand where they're coming from. But I also get to like where that's hard because if someone just keeps going on and on and on, it's like, okay, shit. Like, you know, kind of like sometimes, for example, when you send me like a voice recording and it's so long, I will have to type my responses as I'm listening. So I'm like, I don't forget about something because sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, what else did she say? So that's how I feel about like discussions like that too. So definitely like, though, I'll be like, wait, before you continue, is it like cool if like maybe we break this up where we talk about one thing at a time? Yeah. So we could go back and forth on that and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah. We've definitely started doing that now. Like if we have an argument, we'll be like, okay, you go first. Okay, can I say something? I'm like, okay, go for it. Yeah. But like if I hold it in, like if he's going on about like, you know, me and my problems, whatever. In my head, I'm like, okay, don't interrupt him. But then my face is saying it all. I'm rolling my eyes. I'm like, and then that pisses him off. So then it's like, he's like, why can't you just listen? I'm like, I'm listening. I'm just like, but my face says like, I won't look at him. I'm rolling my eyes. I'm like, he's like, see, why do you have to do that? And I'm like, because I can't speak and interrupt you. So I'm like, fucking
like, what do you want
I'm
here?
exploding in the inside.
Yeah, seriously.
And then funny. I'm not the best at taking criticism. No, I get easily defensive.
Do you? Okay.
Which is something that I think I picked up on my mom. Right. Because like I noticed that even if me and my sisters like call her out on something, she'd like shut down or get like butthurt. But that's something I'm like slowly learning. Like it's okay. Yeah. You can do it. Like not everything is an attack, you know. That's probably the Virgo in me. But yeah. Those are my red flags.
I'm trying to think of another one.
I'm going off on mine. This is. And she's like,
I know. Well, passive aggressive. Okay. Yeah. No, for sure, passive aggressive. I think that's my biggest one. I know there's something else, but I for sure, top of my head, that's like what came to me right away because I know that for a fact. Like I'll be sarcastic, like sarcastic, passive aggressive, where I'm like, oh well, then I mean, whatever. Then there's no point.
That was a good. We were all over the place with that one. But that was good. We talked over friendships, relationships, how we handle things,
random people being red flags, like how. You know, the just whole Karen situation. Red flags, yeah, seriously.
So yeah, I mean, let us know in the comments if you've encountered a red flag.
If you've interacted,
if you've seen a Karen, if you've interacted with them, if there are red flags that you look out for in friendships, relationships, if you're breaking red flag, generational curses in your family, the whole shebang.
Yeah. What are red flags to you, you know, basically? Yeah. Because I know it's different for everyone.
Some people have tolerated different things. Yes. Or their tolerances are different.
Like, for example, like a red flag for some people is like interrupting. I don't necessarily think
it's not mine, personally.
Yeah, it's not mine unless, like I said, in like a heated discussion or something. Like, then I feel like that needs you know.
But it's so funny though because I'll look back at some of these episodes and I'll message Mari like, I'm so sorry if I was interrupting you. Like, please, like, shut me up.
I know.
Like, let me know in the middle of the podcast, like, Vanessa, like, you're cutting me off because I know it's an issue that I have and I never want to take over an entire podcast.
Yep.
So you need to let me know.
I know. Okay, see, and then when you say that and I reply like, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't mind it. Like how you said, because we bounce back and forth, you know, off of each other. So
Yeah.
I feel like our conversation's just flowing. It's cool. Like I do need to remember to go back to it, which I don't mind because I feel like that's very normal for girls. How like
you
we
need
talk.
to work on that.
Yeah, I know.
Something
Another red flag.
No, you're fine. But yeah,
But
I'm sorry if I interrupt.
what's a red flag you see in me?
Nothing. I don't see anything.
Really?
You're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Okay, this is too much for me. This is a little too much. Feelings shutting down.
I'm like total feelings.
I'm not. Sometimes we're the polar opposite too.
That's funny.
But it's a good balance though.
Yeah, for sure.
I hate mushy feelings. Any side, like if we're watching a movie, like feelings are like there's a serious scene where they're just like their feelings are being poured out. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I hate it.
I'm like, yes.
No, I hate it so much, and Eric knows it too. He'll look at me like I'm just like I can't. It's too much. Like
lovey-dovey.
No,
like, I love. Like that's me. Like I just love.
Love's cool.
All of it. That's right, I guess.
It's cool, but you
yeah.
know. Yeah, I know. You eat that shit. I'm just like, ugh. No.
I do.
Like, we get it, but, like, you have to, like, go deeper into that scene. I don't know.
Yeah. I love it.
This is a long episode. Should
This
we do a
one
popsicle
is.
or stick? Sure, stick.
A stick. Sure.
Yeah,
go for it.
Me or you? Me or her? Me or her?
You got it.
Okay.
I'm still cold.
I'm
still like, I feel like the whole time I'm like this in the episode.
Okay. This is different. Thoughts about food and sex. Examples: whipped cream, chocolate, syrup, honey.
I think that's fun.
Have you done it?
I have.
Oh, with what?
I think whipped cream.
Oh.
I think whipped cream. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I haven't.
No?
No.
Or like even like popsicles. No?
No.
Like,
But I can
have
see.
you tried like certain tricks like that?
No.
Like including food?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, but I mean, I understand. It. Like, if you do it, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you guys are like experimenting, and that's like the popsicle sticks. I think that one would be nice. Whipped cream, okay, I can see that. But like, I've never ever done anything sexually with my partner that had like syrups, whipped cream, any of that.
So the thing is, I haven't, but it's like been done to me with it because I don't like whipped cream. I don't like chocolate. Yeah. All of the things that you see like in movies being used or like hear about being used, I don't like. The only thing I have tried is when you eat a slushie beforehand or like a popsicle beforehand and then you handle.
So is it just like because it's cold?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've like that's the closest that I've used food me on someone, but yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I don't see the point, like me personally. I just feel like if I had stuff being poured on me, like we're about to have sex, it's gonna get sweaty, we're gonna get sticky.
Yeah.
Then it's just like more stuff to clean. You know, like not only ourselves, but also whatever we're having sex on is gonna get dirty and sticky. And I just always remember there was something a long time ago that I read where this person was a non and they were talking about how
a what?
They like anonymous. It was like an anon.
Oh,
like
okay, I see
something that I read that was anonymous. But this girl was saying how she went to the she had like syrup down there from like a sexual encounter.
Yeah,
and she ended up having like maggots in her vagina. So ever since then, that's like embedded in my head. And I'm like, I don't ever go near me with like holes and openings with food because like, you know,
maybe not that. See,
like that's
I haven't tried honey. I haven't tried like anything like that that's thick. I don't think I would ever for that reason. Like I feel like, but then it's like, how far are you using that you got?
But I mean, if you have it down there and you're like going down on someone and you're using your tongue and your tongue's going, you know, places in and out, then it's like you're kind of pushing it in.
That's true.
You know, and like our parts are very sensitive and they have a pH level and anything can throw it off.
See, I've heard of that, like I've heard of people getting like yeast infections from using food like that. I've heard of, and that's like okay, so definitely make sure you're like cleaning up after, like you shower afterwards if you're gonna do that. But I have not heard about the maggots thing.
Yeah.
That's scary. That makes me not want to. I mean, maybe like up top, like that's cool.
Yeah,
but
any holes? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, no foods near my holes. No foods near my holes, please.
Yeah, no, I don't. That's so weird.
But ever since I came across that, like in my head, I'm like, that is disgusting.
Yeah, understandably so. That's pretty traumatizing to even think of, like, it's gross.
But it's like I know there are people who do that stuff.
Yeah.
Like who will literally shove probably something in there and then like eat it out or something.
I'm sure.
Yeah, like, no. Nope, not me. Couldn't be me. Mm-hmm. Maybe whipped cream on the titties one day. I don't know, but we'll see. I don't know.
Sprinkles or something.
Little sprinkles.
Little sprinkle. Oh, yeah. That would be good.
Mm-hmm. Well, then, that was a really good episode.
Wait, have you done the popsicle thing?
No.
Like a slushy popsicle kind of thing? Just try it.
Our stuff is now scheduled because we have kids. So it's like, hey, you want to have sex tonight? And it's like, yeah, sure.
Schedule a popsicle in.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we'll do that.
Yeah, just go get some bomb pops.
Right. Okay. Babe, if you're hearing this, drink a slushie.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, then. Well, yeah, that was a really good, long.
I've been seeing comments where people say that they need to be longer. So here you go. I don't know how long it's been, but I know that this one's long.
I did like this one, though, because like, it was just so much stuff in one topic. And I feel like usually we get over a topic fast because we
get straight to the point. Yeah. But I feel like with the red flags thing, we were able to talk about so much and go into detail about it and give examples of what we've seen and stuff. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, like
I couldn't do it again. But yeah, all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments if you've ever done any of the stuff that we talked about. Yeah. If you know any red flags.
If you've seen a Karen incident and if you were a recorder or if you did something about it.
Yes.
No judging if you didn't do anything about it. It's cool because not everyone. Yeah. Okay. Because not everyone is good with confrontation. So
red flag.
Yeah, seriously. So yeah, let us know your thoughts and your experiences.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys can find us on Instagram and TikTok. We'll leave our handles down in the description box below. And yeah, we'll see you guys next episode.
The next one.
Peace.